The Big 12 is the most entertaining conference in the country. TCU beat Kansas yesterday in what may have been the game of the day until we got to nighttime and we saw Bama A&M, or maybe even including that game. 38-31, TCU beats Kansas. Fumbles finally bit Kansas. Now, they've been putting the ball on the ground a fair amount this year. They hadn't had to pay for it, but they finally paid yesterday. And, of course, Jalen Daniels, the quarterback, went down. I thought they got pretty good quarterback play from the backup. I don't think that's what ultimately doomed them. You know, Jason Bean's the backup there at Kansas. I thought he performed and validated himself very well. But Quentin Johnson is a wide receiver at TCU we were talking a lot about last year, and he's doing this year what I kind of thought he may do last year. He had 14 catches for over 200 yards yesterday. He is a Sunday player who just happens to be playing Saturday ball right now. And I want you to pay close attention this Saturday. There are so many big games, but the one happening in Fort Worth, Oklahoma State at TCU, it not only has Big 12 championship implications, make no mistake about it, that has college football playoff implications because some of these teams in the Big 12 are proving to be real enough commodities, they have to be taken into account. I don't care how many teams you thought one conference or the other would get in the preseason. The games are actually happening right now. TCU is a very good team. Oklahoma State's a very good team. Now, I don't know that anybody's great right now, but they're all in the running. And so that one's a big one. TCU opens as a 3.5-point favorite. That's essentially home field. And so Vegas is telling you two very comparable teams here are going at it. Kansas, meanwhile, goes on the road to Oklahoma. Let me have a little exercise here. For those of you in the room that fancy yourselves experts, me not being one of them, of course, because I already know the answer. Kansas at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is an unmitigated tire fire disaster right now. What do you think the point spread is? Who do you think's favored? How about that? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 2, 1. Oklahoma's favored by a touchdown at home. I see a lot of you already rushing to your nearest device to place that money on the Jayhawks. Hey, look, maybe it's that Tennessee situation. Maybe it's free money out there. I don't know. They don't do that all that often. Texas Tech falls to Oklahoma State 41-31. Oklahoma State, very interesting number here. They got 16 touchdown drives already this year of 2 minutes or less. How significant is that? How much is that a returning to their roots for them? They got 16 TD drives, 2 minutes or less this year. They had 17 of those in all of last year. So that offense is up a notch or 3 or 5, which is interesting because it's the same quarterback there. Texas Tech emptied the chamber yesterday. They may have lost by 10. They left nothing in the chamber. They had 7 fourth down attempts, and they went 4 of 7. They had 63 passing attempts. They ran 104 plays yesterday and lost. Now that's important because the team they played, that defense of Oklahoma that was on the field for 104 plays, they're not off this week. They already had their bye. So keep in mind as you're placing those precious shekels of yours on that TCU Oklahoma State game, one of those defenses, the one that has to travel this week, was on the field 104 plays yesterday. So I think that's significant. Moving on, Kansas State scored 10 points in Ames, but that's all it took. Kansas State 10, Iowa State 9. We're not happy about it in Ames, but we're going to roll with it. We are 0-3 in conference play, and it's the first time that we've been this down since 2016, but we're not here to talk about the losers, unfortunately. We're here to talk about Kansas State. They're undefeated in conference play. Yet another contender that's still out there. The play that determined this game didn't happen in the fourth quarter, second half. It was like 2.5 minutes into the game. And Adrian Martinez ducks a sack, hits a receiver, broken tackle, 81 yards for the touchdown. And at the time you think, all right, we're just settling in. No, you almost decided the game there because they didn't score again until 7:14 to go in the fourth, which is when they kicked a field goal that ended up winning it. So there is so much competitive balance in this conference. It's amazing. Just to give you an idea, and Jesse and Colin, I don't really know what we have in terms of odds to win the Big 12, if we have any of that, but I'll tell you what our numbers think. Oklahoma State in Vegas is the current odds-on favorite to win the Big 12 championship. TCU is second. Texas is third. Kansas State's fourth. But what you need to know is they're bunched up. There's no separation there. And then Baylor is a little more distant fifth. Well, I'll tell you, the model thinks Texas is the best team in the Big 12 right now. We would favor them by 7 on a neutral field with Quinn Ewers. We would favor them by 7 against Oklahoma State tomorrow. We'd favor Oklahoma State by 2 against Kansas State. We'd favor Kansas State by 2 against TCU. And we'd favor TCU by 1 against Baylor. This is must-see. Every Saturday, this conference is must-see. Also, Kansas State, just a little note here, fewest points in a road conference win since 1982. They scored 10 points. First 3-game losing streak for Iowa State since 2016. It hurts me so much to say that. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.